In the world of cricket, some players are remembered for elegance, some are remembered for records, but a few are remembered for something much deeper, their fighting spirit. Neil Wagner belongs to that rare category. His story is not one of natural fame or overnight success. It is a story of sacrifice, migration, rejection, resilience, and an unbreakable will to succeed. Every time he ran in with the ball, every time he pushed through pain, every time he refused to give up, he showed the world what true determination looked like. Neil Wagner was born on March 13, 1986, in Pretoria. Like countless young boys in South Africa, he grew up dreaming of representing his country on the cricket field. Cricket was not just a sport for him, it was a passion that consumed his childhood. From an early age, Wagner displayed a fierce competitive spirit. He wasn't the tallest fast bowler, he wasn't the quickest, but he had something many others lacked, an extraordinary hunger to compete.
As a young cricketer, he represented youth teams and worked tirelessly to improve his game. Every training session became an opportunity to get better. Every setback became motivation. Yet, despite his talent, breaking into South African cricket was incredibly difficult. The competition was intense. Opportunities were limited. Many talented players struggled to find a pathway to the highest level. For Wagner, the dream seemed to be slipping away. But destiny had other plans. In 2008, he made one of the biggest decisions of his life. He moved to New Zealand, leaving behind familiar surroundings, friends, and family. The move was risky. There were no guarantees, no promises, no certainty. He arrived in a new country with a dream and little else. Starting over was not easy. He had to prove himself again. He had to earn respect from teammates, coaches, and selectors. Every performance mattered.
Many players would have been discouraged by the challenge. Neil Wagner embraced it. Playing domestic cricket in New Zealand, he quickly built a reputation as a hard-working fast bowler who never stopped trying. Even when conditions were difficult, even when wickets weren't coming, he kept pushing. His attitude impressed everyone. He became known as the player who would run through walls for his team. The cricket community began to notice. Gradually, his performances improved, his consistency increased, his confidence grew. The dream of international cricket suddenly felt possible again. Years of hard work eventually paid off. In 2012, Neil Wagner made his Test debut for New Zealand national cricket team. For many players, reaching international cricket is the end of the journey. For Wagner, it was only the beginning. The early years of his Test career were challenging. International cricket exposed every weakness. The world's best batsmen tested him relentlessly. There were moments when critics questioned whether he belonged at the highest level. But Wagner responded the only way he knew how.
By working harder. Season after season, he refined his skills. He understood that he could not rely solely on pace. Instead, he developed a unique strategy built around accuracy, aggression, and relentless short-pitched bowling. His bouncer became one of the most feared weapons in world cricket. Batsmen knew what was coming, yet stopping it was another matter entirely. Unlike many fast bowlers who searched for swing or seam movement, Wagner often attacked with persistence. He would bowl long spells, target uncomfortable areas, and force mistakes through pressure. His approach was unconventional, but it was incredibly effective. Soon, he became one of New Zealand's most valuable players. What made Wagner special wasn't just his bowling, it was his mindset. He treated every wicket like a battle won. Every spell felt like a personal challenge. Every match became a test of endurance. Fans loved him because he represented everything they admired: effort, courage, and commitment. One of the defining characteristics of Neil Wagner's career was his willingness to sacrifice his body for the team. Fast bowling is physically demanding. The constant impact on the knees, ankles, back, and shoulders can wear down even the strongest athletes. Yet Wagner repeatedly pushed himself beyond normal limits. There were matches where he bowled despite pain. There were spells where exhaustion was visible on his face. But he refused to quit. His teammates often spoke about his toughness. Opponents respected his determination. Fans admired his heart. Over time, Wagner became a symbol of New Zealand cricket's fighting spirit. The New Zealand team itself was undergoing a transformation. Under leaders like Brendan McCullum and later Kane Williamson, the team developed a reputation for humility, professionalism, and competitiveness. Wagner fit perfectly into that culture. He wasn't concerned about personal glory. His focus was always the team. Whether bowling with a new ball, an old ball, or in difficult conditions, he accepted every challenge. One of the most memorable periods of his career came during New Zealand's rise as a major force in Test cricket. The team began competing consistently against the world's best nations. Victories became more frequent. Confidence grew. Belief spread throughout the squad. At the center of many important wins was Neil Wagner. Again and again, he delivered breakthroughs when New Zealand needed them most. When partnerships became dangerous, captains often turned to Wagner. More often than not, he found a way. Sometimes it was a sharp bouncer. Sometimes it was relentless pressure. Sometimes it was sheer determination. But somehow, he got the job done. His performances against top batting lineups earned international respect. Cricket experts started recognizing him as one of the most effective test bowlers in the world. What made his achievements even more impressive was the path he had taken. He wasn't a teenage superstar. He wasn't a cricket prodigy. He wasn't the player everyone expected to succeed. Instead, he built his career through persistence. Every achievement was earned. Every milestone represented years of hard work. That is what made his story so inspiring. Neil Wagner showed that talent alone is not enough. Passion matters. Commitment matters. Resilience matters. And sometimes the players who refuse to give up achieve things that others never imagined possible. End of part 1. Reply part 2 and I'll continue the story with his greatest matches, World Test Championship triumph, personal life, leadership influence, retirement journey, and emotional legacy in another long chapter.